Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm not watering the rest of the lawn today. I went out and tried to turn the water off in the backyard behind me, and the faucet just would not turn. It was just seized open. I have no idea why. I don't know what happened. It wasn't like when I opened it the last time that I was like cranking it to be completely open. It just froze solid open. I don't know how else to describe it. And so I went inside where we have another valve. So I shut it off inside. And then I just took this tool to just try to, like, maybe it was like a little rusted or something. No, I pulled the whole top part, the thing that the valve opens and closes it. That top part just sheared right off. I'm sitting there going, what the hell? How does this happen? So yeah, gonna need to get that fixed. Well, the one in the front yard too, it works, but the faucet, part of it got broken off. My son tried to do something and he just broke that off, but that's been out there for like 25 years. So I don't know. And I'm not a good person with tools, and I'm not a handy person, however you want to say it. So I don't trust myself to fix that kind of stuff. In fact, if you notice behind me, right there, there's a white panel. So when that faucet got originally fixed, and to do that, the guy had to basically cut that open. And then I got this piece from like Home Depot or something that has springs that just spring out, so you can actually pull that off, and then you can see the pipes there. The thing I'm a little bit concerned about in the front yard is that the faucet has all this like brick around it, and so if he's got to do anything to break into that, who knows. So anyway, the fun of owning a house. I should just write my own thing on buying a house. And of course now it's different than when I bought my house 20 odd years ago, because interest rates and the costs of housing and everything else is much different. But if there's one thing I would make sure to state to somebody is, when you buy a house, it's the mortgage, unless you can buy it outright. But even if you do that, there's the utilities, the water, there's the electricity, there's the maintenance. The roof has to be redone every so often. If you have siding, and depending on kind of what siding you have, that has to get redone. Floors, carpeting, just the occasional, oh crap, this happened in our house with, something breaking, either with a toilet or something like that. It never ends. Just there's this continual maintenance that you always have to keep in mind, that you're going to maybe have to shell out some money to get a new water softener, to get a new water heater, or to get a new refrigerator, or something like that. It always happens. So there's always this continual, you always want to make sure you got money saved up, because those things tend to hit. We just got a new head to our, no, this is not coding, but this is life. We just got a new head to our water softener because the one we had, I guess, wasn't working anymore. So we had to get that done. And then we had some work done on the window, the window in our kitchen, the front window. The wood was starting to rot. So somebody came out and they tore all the wood off and put new wood up and painted it. And we got to pay for that now. And so now this is happening, and we're going to have to have somebody come out and fix that, and we're going to have to pay for that. So it's fun. It's like, oh, well, if you could do it yourself, then you could just fix that yourself. And it's like, well, true, if I trust in myself, but I don't. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at, and tools I'm not good at. And there's also the cost of doing it yourself. You got to have all the tools. You got to have all the knowledge and the time to do all that. And that's just not on my cards. So, but I know somebody that I trust. He's the guy who basically built the downstairs here, the office that you see that I'm in. Him and his crew did all the half unfurnished downstairs that we had when we bought the house. and also redid our roof. And so, finding somebody that you trust is a good thing. So anyway, back to coding. What can I screw up here? So I have this thing in here. Why is file nullable in statistics gatherer? I don't know. So I have this maybe null here, FileInfo. And I have code, but I also have FileInfo. Maybe no. Specifies in an output, maybe no. Well, it's not an output. It's a it's an input. It's an argument. File here could be null. Where is this all being used? So we set it here, and then we never use it? Seriously? Well, okay, we use it here. Yeah, this plus is going to change. So, but we're assuming that it's always not null. I mean, we have to be doing something with it, right? Because what is statistics? Statistics has, it has a file info. Okay, now this is making more sense. Like you do something months or years ago, and then you look back on something and you're like, what in the world is this? So we are assuming that we always have a file. And then that's bad because when we come up here, like we say file dot full name, even though this is arguably not correct because, well, it's saying file is not null here. How can that not be null? Because we define it as being a non-nullable type, not a nullable, even though it's coming in here, could be null. So yeah, we do have an issue here. And I'm starting to remember, maybe I did this when I built this, saying, well, in one case you just want to pass in code. In the other case, you want to pass in a file info. But that doesn't help either way, does it? Because the file info is purely just a marker for you to say that I might have it be null. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head how to handle this. Do I want a file statistics gatherer? Or do I want a statistics gatherer? Or do I want a... I get now, like the question in here was, why is it nullable? Well, I know why it's nullable. Because in this case, I'm always getting a file. Like when I'm reading this stuff, I'm always getting a file. But when I do my tests here, I just want to pass in code, right? Now, I do believe, can you save? No, there's no empty. Like if I did that, what would happen? Yeah, it would pass because we don't care, we're not reading it. But does it exist? Of course it doesn't exist. I know that. Okay, so file, it's that directory. It says, well, that's the file, but does it actually exist? And the length, of course, is going to throw an exception because there is no length. Exists is false. Yeah, so you can pass it in. And in here, we're just assuming, oh, of course you're going to have it. Why wouldn't you have it? So if I come back here, and it's always coming from the statistics gatherer. Because statistics is here, and that's a statistics. And so we're always saying plus equals that. So maybe the right thing to do is to say, instead of it being on statistics gatherer, it should be on statistics. Because the statistics has the file infos here, and statistics gather is purely just about examining the code. Why in the world do I not use a interpolate string there as well. Well, I get it because it's within now. Okay, fine. I'm getting distracted. So the problem though is, how do I, like I'm saying, statistics here is on the left and statistics gather is on the right. And this is going to make a new thing. And the operator assumes that you're always going to have one thing on the left and one thing on the right. And the gatherer, well, what we could do, here, let's try this as an experiment. Let's get rid of this, because I feel like this is just bad. And then we don't need that anymore. And then we don't need, okay. So that sort of starts to fix things. But my idea is there shouldn't be anything else wrong with this code, because in here, this one thing, yeah, that's, but here there will be. Now, what we're going to say to add here is we're going to say a FileInfo file and a statistics gatherer. That's what you're going to add on the right, okay? And so this now has to expand out to being gatherer. Yes. All the things. Come on. Except here we want to have write.file and then write file. And we're going to do that. That I think actually makes more sense. There. Okay. And of course the one thing here is that now we need to say this gets pulled out with a new FileInfo, new statistics gatherer. Boom. That actually makes a lot more sense to me. Okay. So run all tests. And that works. Give me a sec. I'm going to run this against my Roslyn 2. And let's see if this still works and doesn't break anything. It seems to work just fine. So I like this. I like that it separates out. You're gathering statistics on this code. It just so happens in this case, this is the FileInfo that we want when we're printing stuff out. Arguably, what we could do is at some point in the future, move this stuff here into another thing that I can use for testing purposes. And then it prints all this out, but yeah, I mean, this is a program file that was kind of written poorly. So, but I want this to get out as is. So let's commit that. Mode FileInfo out of statistics. So get direct from command line. We will get there. Have statistics implement IAdditionOperators. That was something else I was thinking of doing, and we can do that pretty quickly now. So what we can say here is IAdditionOperators. Oh yeah, you need to know you're inheriting. That would help. And so we can say there will be, well, this will be on the left. This will be on the right. And again, this may not be the greatest thing to, and then there, and it just works. But now we're enforcing the fact that why is it not there? The mouse wasn't changing. But now we're enforcing the fact that this will implement that you can add these two together and this works. So we can change that later on, but now it just, I think it plays nicer. It would be nice if you could add two of these together, but that's not necessarily our intent. This is a whole, and the more I play with this, the more I'm like, for the next version, I think there will be a lot of changes. Like this may be actually gathering all the statistics. This may just be statistics on the file that we have. But either way, if I run this, give me a second, and that worked as well. So I'll put that in. And get the directory from the command line. Yeah. Now, I was looking up system command line. And this kind of... Yeah, you can actually grab, if you say at the top here, if you ever say something like args dot, and then there should be like a length, because it assumes args is if you're using top level statements, it assumes that args is the thing that you want to do. So if I say here, I don't know if what I just said made sense, but if I say manage and get packages on this one, and let's browse system.command line. Why does it bring in all this crap? Wait a minute. It said... Okay, go to the getting started tutorial. I'm almost positive. What's a pre-release? Oh. Fine. Okay. It's a pre-release, but it's in 2.0 beta. Because of course. Oh, they went from 0.3 to 2. That's great. That's wonderful. I love that. Do as we say, says Microsoft, not as we do. Okay, so we can define a command. And the thing is, we need two commands. One that will be SLN and one that will be directory. All right, so we did that. So we want a command. Yes, so we're going to want to... If I say file, could I put file count here on statistics? That seems to make more sense. Like, why would I? The reason, so what I'm thinking here is I'm going to have to pull some of this out into a separate method. And then the two commands, like if you give it, I don't know if there's a way on here to say if you provide two, well, these are options. Oh, okay. So you'll give a root command the options, and then I can say if you set one to be one, then you do that. Otherwise, we'll look at the other one. So that way I can have like precedence here. Okay. So what I want to do though is remove file count here, and let's put it down on this. And then up here, well, am I needing to do that there? Like, statistics will take the current statistics and then say, add one to that. Could you ever miss one? Unless I did this. And then like that. And then in here, we need the file count to be incremented. So whatever it was, we need uint file count. This stuff is equal to file. And then here we say left of whatever. But since we have it in a lock here, yeah, and I'm not even sure if that lock is needed, but you know, whatever works. Okay, so I think we've got that in the right spot now. And I did all that because I want to start having some options here. So I want to have a var solution option, which is equal to a new option of string. Nope. We know generics JSON, don't we? Name is SLN. Description. The solution file to find. So his name, get default value name, parse argument. Yeah, I think you can parse the argument to say, but we'll just do that for now. And I believe there was an option here to say string name, string description. Yeah, so you can do this. There, okay. And then we need a solution option. We need a directory option. So this is going to be dir directory to parse. Okay, so we've got those two. And now we want a root command. Can you say here .add? Oh, okay, there was no like add. Well, they don't have like a add. Yeah, there's no like params of that, but that's okay. Okay, why is this barking? Looks good to me. All right, I like that. And these can, I guess, let's say they're string question mark, because you may provide them. I think that might be what I want. So we want solution option value and directory option value. Okay. With the solution option and the directory option. And this will be SLN, and this will be dir. And then you need to say here, root command invoke async with the args. Okay, now if I basically just do this, okay, we just stop all this for now. What happens when I run this? Yeah, it tells me there's nothing there, which makes perfect sense. And I think you can do a launch options, right? I thought there was a, I mean, I know what a launch settings, that's what I want. .NET run launch profile name. Yeah, so you could do that too. Okay, so I think what I can do is say, no, stop it. If not, string is null or white space solution option value, then else if else. Stop it. No. A solution file or directory was not provided. Okay, so in this case, what we would do is, like the directory thing is basically this. We run this, we get our statistics, and then we'll pass in the statistics to a helper function that prints all this stuff out. In the second case, or in the first case, because that's the second, because we already have that. In the first case, we'll do the MSBuild workspace thing and find all the CS files to gather our statistics, and then we will call the helper. But that's in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.